Yay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Okay. Um, so nobody wanted to talk about your biggest takeaway from last week? Anybody? Nobody?
I'll go. Yes.
Okay. What'd you have?
Just I guess so taking action today, not waiting, and positive affirmations really helped me. I wrote them on little post-it notes, and then kind of I haven't done my board yet, but I've been envisioning what I'm going to put on there, and that's really helped. And then identifying rockstar guests. I started using my tracker like during my parties. And once I started using this, I was able to get 5 parties booked from this one party. So it just helped me keep
Awesome.
track of the guests and things like that, and then also possible recruit. So that really helped me.
Yay. Love it. Anybody else?
Yeah, I
Go ahead,
had
Holly.
3 bookings from this past party that I had, and I've got 3 people who are thinking about joining.
Yay.
So,
Yay.
and that's just from asking.
Amazing what will happen when you just ask. I know,
You just
right?
ask and they respond. It's amazing.
That is awesome. Congrats. We'll hold our fingers crossed for you on those. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Way to go, girl.
Yeah. One more. Anybody? Anybody? Okay. How did y'all feel about reaching out to your 10 contacts a day to fill your calendars? Did any of y'all do that? Try that out?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of responses, but I did have a few, but most of them are just kind of going out to nowhere. So,
Okay. And with the ones that you didn't get any responses from, did you follow up with those a couple of days later?
no, I haven't.
Okay. You could definitely do that. Reach out to them and just, life gets pretty busy. I'm not quite sure if you saw the first message. I just wanted to see, what you thought about it.
Okay.
Something like that. Something simple. Did y'all participate in the assigned training calls?
No. I seem to be missing the calls.
Alrighty. And are y'all making sure that y'all are keeping up with all contacts that you are doing? You got like a little lead book of anything going?
Yes.
Got a couple of nods going? Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to kick off today's session with a testimonial from Miss Trisha, who is actually directly under me. She joined my Harper organization back in November, at the end of November. And she has just been rocking and rolling her business since she came in. I was lucky enough to get her to attend our Harper organization retreat in January that we held in Oklahoma. She walked away, I think, so energized, so motivated, and I can definitely tell it has shown. So I wanted her just to come on here and speak a little bit because of everything that's been going great with her business. And she came in, we had a really good talk before she joined about what she was wanting out of her business. And y'all, she is just, whew, sky's definitely the limit for this one. So Trisha, if you will, please.
You're so funny, Misty. It's like, ta-da! So the first thing I want to say is that everybody's goals are different. So I had very ambitious goals because I had a very strong need. And so what I'm going to share with you is, not everybody's going to be the same because everybody has different goals. So for me, I needed to replace a full-time income that I had lost due to some health reasons, and also because I have 3 kids, 2 of them are special needs, and I needed to be home with them. So I couldn't be out in the work world anymore. I needed to be able to be home to help them and also bring in some income because when I lost my job, we went from a 2-income family to a 1-income family, and my husband is a teacher. And as we all know, teachers are not nearly paid what they're worth. And So our mortgage went from a quarter of our income to half of our income overnight. And that was super scary for us. And I had done Paper Chef before, back in the olden days, like 15 years ago, when it was all cooking shows before virtual parties. But I knew I loved Paper Chef. I'd always used it. I had quit my business before because we moved overseas and I couldn't do it anymore. But since we were back in America, I thought, I know this is something I can do from home. I love their products. I'm going to give it a try. And I did, as Misty said, I went to the January retreat that Melody had, which I'm so happy and thankful that she had, because I learned so much from that. And I've really worked hard to implement the amazing wisdom that I learned from the ladies into my business so that I could succeed. And when I left in January, I started the end of November, had my first party in December, and then we had the retreat early January. When I left January, I thought I had a really ambitious goal, and my goal was to sell $5,000 a month. And I thought my real goal was to make our car payment. So I would get commission enough to pay $500. I thought if I could just cover our car payment, then that would give us some breathing room to buy things like, food. So, but my ambitious goal was to sell $5,000 per month, which would give me $1,000 in commission, right? Am I doing the math right? Is that right? Math is hard. So if my math is wrong, then sorry, but I really thought, and then my other goal was to be director by conference. And I kind of thought it was a pipe dream, like, we'll give it a try, I'm going to do it. But I didn't know if I could really do it. But the exciting thing is this is my little board right there that I made at conference. And I have already surpassed all my goals that I had for the year, which is so exciting to me. And I tell you, I'm not special. I don't have a magic formula. What I have done is listen to the people who are successful. I have taken the advice and I've implemented it. And I think one thing that is so important in this business is to be teachable. And if you aren't teachable, you're going to have a much harder time succeeding. I have been very blessed that I have an amazing team. I get to work with people like Mariana, who is on here and is going to hit director this month. And, and the rest of my downline is just on fire. And they're kind of in the same situation where I am, where we need to make money for our families. And so I think identifying what your need is very important, so that when you do come across those difficult situations, difficult hosts, difficult guests, or whatever it is that you're trying to overcome, then you remember why you're in this business. So the why is what keeps you working. So it's important to identify your why, and that's really going to help you grow a lot. There are a lot of practical tips that I could give you, but honestly, you can get that from your upline, because that's where I got my practical tips from. But I think a lot of it really has to do with mentality, positivity, and just this, the why and the desire to keep going and to not let anything stand in your way. And a couple months ago, I remember Melody posted on her timeline a meme, and it was like, don't let a junkie out hustle you. Like, if a junkie needs a fix, they're going to do whatever it takes to get that. And you don't want to let a junkie out hustle you. And it's like, how badly So I ask myself sometimes when I'm not feeling well or I don't want to do follow-ups or whatever, I ask myself, am I going to let a junkie out hustle me today, or am I going to work my business? So consistency is key, and continue working and you're going to get it. And we have an awesome team here. Don't be afraid to reach out, ask for help, and know that when you do become a director, that's not the end. There's so much more after that. And there's so much training and so many people that can help you, that you're not on your own. So don't be afraid. We're all here for each other.
Yes, love it. Thank you so much. And congratulations, because I know Mariana's going to get it this month.
Yep.
Super excited.
You can just call me not Jim.
Leslie, you ready?
Melody, do you want me to share my screen?
Or I can, Leslie, whatever you prefer. Is it
It
easier?
doesn't matter.
Is it easier for me to take charge of that and you do what you need?
No, I think I can do it all right. Yeah, we'll try. I'll try.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, no, I can't, it says. So go ahead. I
Okay.
hope you can. It won't let me.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, like she said, this is week 3. So we're talking about host coaching and recruiting your hosts. So, belief, that's what we're going to talk about. And you've probably been talking about it already in these other trainings, but belief is such a powerful word. And we'll talk about it more again in a minute. First, let me ask you, do you believe in the power of you? Do you believe that you can do, be, or have anything you want in life if you're willing to work hard enough to get it? So ask yourself, and remember, simply put, belief is just what we tell ourselves every day, what we tell our mind, our brain, and what we tell our mind, our brain believes. So we want to do a quick activity here to help you think a little bit more about belief. Answer these following questions on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. And most importantly, be honest with yourself. So, So on the first one, do you believe you can build your skills and succeed in reaching your booking and recruiting goals? And just score yourself 1 to 10, with 10 being the absolutely yes. 2 is, do you believe you can promote director in 3 to 30 days? Number 3, do you believe you can promote to a strong leader for your team after you do make director? So look at your scores and see, are you happy with what your scores were, or do you feel like you need room to grow in your belief level? Belief, again, is a very powerful concept, and when you truly understand how powerful it is, it can change your life. This model is called the belief triangle. And it's a way of looking at the power of belief. Remember, our beliefs are determined by what we tell ourselves every day, and the belief triangle tells us that beliefs determine actions, actions determine results, and results reinforce beliefs. And of course, we all know that you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So now here are here's some examples of how that might look when it comes to your beliefs. Your belief, Melody, can you go to the next slide? There we go. Your new, oh, no, that's your, okay. Our old belief might be people are so busy today and they don't have time to add another commitment to their life like a Pampered Chef business. But then if you look at this new one, instead you would say people are so busy today that they, Oh, okay. This is supposed to say your old belief. Okay. And then your old action would be you don't ask every host 5 times every party, and you don't post about the opportunity in your virtual parties because you really don't believe people do have time to do this business. And then the result, our old result would be where you're not recruiting on a consistent basis. But then if we turn it around and say that, yes, we can do it, our new belief would be Pampered Chef is an amazing opportunity for anyone. Lots of people need more income and will find time for what's important to them. The new action would be I ask every host 5 times, I ask every party guest, and I post about the opportunity in my virtual parties. And my new result was I recruit consistently and achieve multiple 4 and 1 cycles every month. So in order for you to succeed, you must believe you can do it. Believe that you can be, do, and achieve anything you want in your business as long as you're willing to work hard enough to achieve it. And that's just like Tricia was talking about. She didn't really have a choice, so she had to do it, and she did it. If you're struggling with that belief in your own business, though, focus on believing that Director Bound will help you succeed. And know that when you take action every day, you'll find the success you're looking for. Those no's will turn to yeses, and your business will grow. But it does take work, and it takes the no's. You were chosen to be a part of this group because we believe in you, and we want you to believe in you yourself. And another way to help with your own belief is using positive affirmations. I know y'all have already been talking about affirmations a little bit. And what that is they describe specific positive outcomes instead of future outcomes. So we're going to ask you to grow your list of affirmations today. You want to read your affirmations out loud twice a day, first in the morning, first in the morning to help you focus for the day and remind you of what you want to achieve. And again, right before you go to bed to help your mind think about that through the night. Did y'all used to do that when you were taking tests? You would study right up until bedtime, and then in the morning when you got up, it all kind of made sense. Well, this is the same principle. It's important that you read these out loud, not just to yourself in your head. There's so much power in hearing your own voice saying you're doing something you want to do. So I want you to take a couple of minutes, and we want you to write 5 positive affirmations right now. And so they're the I am statements. Whatever 5 are most important to you right now, write them right now. Everybody got them? Okay, if you don't have them finished, just go ahead and, that'll be part of your homework this week. But remember that your brain actually isn't as smart as you think it is. It will believe anything you tell it if you tell it often enough. So be sure you're telling it positive I am statements. Okay, Misty,
Yes, ma'am.
talk about hosts.
Yes. So one of the biggest things is with your host coaching is partnering with your host. You're wanting to definitely build a positive relationship with every one of your hosts. Make sure you're kind of getting to know them, talk to them, discuss with them. You don't want to sit there and have a party with the host and bring up alcohol and they don't drink alcohol. You don't want to bring any of our wine and products into something. So you want to make sure that the party that you're doing is going to benefit your host in that way. So you want to build that relationship and get to know them. One of the greatest things to do is to put all of your hosts, if you've got 5 parties going this week, put all of your hosts together in a group message so that you can communicate with all of them. Because when you're doing that, you're inspiring them. You're giving that enthusiasm for their parties, getting excited. When one host gets excited, they're going to all get excited. It builds momentum, and that's going to build better parties, more sales, because it kind of builds a competition almost. So you definitely want to utilize that. Put them in a back messenger, start going, and communicate with them every day through that. You want to make sure that you are communicating with them constantly, reminding them to participate. You want to encourage them to comment, tag friends. If they see something, so-and-so's got little kids and you saw this, one of the kid products, and they'll fall in love with it, tag them, different things like that. Make sure that they're, commenting a lot, tagging their friends to pull them in, because we can only do so much. And if their friends are participating, they're going to get more involved. I don't remember where, I think it was Melody that once had said it. Somebody had said it. It was like, if this was a house party, you're not going to leave all your guests there. You're going to walk around and mingle. And you want to do the same and tell your host that to do it the same with this. You want to interact with your guests virtually just as you would as if they were in your home. So I think I kind of skipped with the thing. But, y'all got to remember that our hosts are the most important and for all of our parties. They are what helps us to, I'm not quite sure who that was at. They are what helps us get our business out in front of people, because they're going to pull in other people that we don't know. They're going to be looking for those future bookings for us. And a lot of the times our hosts are actually our next recruits. So you want to make sure that you're really feeling confident about their parties and let them know, so that you can lead them to a successful outcome. So one of the benefits that we have, I hope everybody is really utilizing Dash and learning the stuff in there that's going on. It's got such great information. But one of the things that it has is when you set up a party in your My Parties under Consultants Corner, you and your host have access to a bunch of resources that y'all will get a lot from. They can use the host coaching tools to invite their guests, send messages to guests, track their sales and rewards that they've earned. So they can actually keep track with this. And one of the things that I love the most about that is a lot of my hosts will turn around and thank a guest for placing an order before I even get to see it. Like, they're on it. Those interactive ones, like they're in there commenting, thank you so much for placing your order, and then of course I do my part in going as well. But they're able to see that and they get excited because they see the rewards going up. So make sure you are using that. There's also an area where you can track your host coaching progress. You can actually email or text your host with the links to recipes and offers. And then of course the party planners there. So let's talk a little bit about the aspect of host coaching that's going to help you and your host get really big results, which is what I went over. I kind of jumped ship, so I do apologize. Building those relationships is definitely where you want to start with. Okay, so here's where we're gonna go. This is one of those where I'm saying, you know, you're gonna get your host to utilize and come in with you to talk about getting those extra future bookings. So I kind of skipped over that. I'm sorry, Melody. I mean, I discussed it, but I kind of went out of order really quickly.
That's okay. I will share, and a lot of you guys have been on the new consultant training, so you guys have seen some of these different things, the tips and stuff that I have shared, you know, that we do with our hosts every single week. But I've started on Monday where I share with my hosts the host link for their party, how they can look and they can track and they can see, you know, what their orders are, how much they've ordered, what their host rewards are right now. If they are on their host link and they get that in the party early, then they can kind of see what's going on throughout. And then I also share with them the third link, which is the host dashboard video, and it shows them their benefits from the host dashboard. Okay, so I share their host link, and then I also, not their party link, not how people order, but their host dashboard link. And then also,
you guys have fun.
Then also their the video, so they know all the benefits of that, what they can have with that host dashboard. But this is one of the things, and I do this on Wednesday. And this is after they kind of saw a different post, you know, that talks about bookings and stuff. But I throw this one out there, and I also I take a picture of it. And just like, I don't remember, it was Misty or Leslie that was talking about it, but I put all of my hosts for that week in a group together. Okay, so I just started, I've done it a few different ways, but I've kind of switched back to doing that. So if their parties start this week, on Saturday, I'm welcoming them to this group together. Super excited. You guys are my hosts for this week. You know, anytime someone gets an order or they reach a new level, I get excited in that group. Or someone got a booking, you know, I'll say, so-and-so got a booking, you're so close, you know, you have 2 more that we're trying to get. So all of that's happening in this host conversation, so they can really encourage each other and they can see what is going on in other parties, so they can get excited and realize that theirs can be there as well. Okay, so I've started doing that. So in this group, I will take a picture of this and say, hey, be sure that all of you go on and tag 3 people that you think would make great hosts. So you can see below in the comment section, she tagged 3 different people who she thought, and all 3 of these guys booked a party, all 3 of them. Okay, so this really helps, just having your host tag those people. And I do, you know, if they get 3 bookings, they're going to get something for free. So I put that in front of them early on, and we celebrate it every time someone gets a booking. And so that has really helped, having them in a group together where we can get excited together about the successes. And you'll be amazed, you know, if you're like, oh man, I feel bad for this host over here who doesn't have anything. But when that person gets something, they're all going to get excited for that person, you know, and they're all, you know, are encouraging, which encourages that person even more to have an even more successful party. So that has really, really helped as well.
Yes. Make sure y'all are utilizing that. I promise y'all that enthusiasm and everything is going to get you so far. It works. It's great. The next thing we're going to talk about is we're staying, of course, this is the host coaching area. So we want to make sure that you're aware that your host is, you know, that you realize that they're your most valuable business partner. They're comfortable enough with you to introduce you to their friends and families. They're helping you bring in your sales, getting you more bookings, and, you know, that might be the person who leads you to your next recruit, which I don't want to say like 9 out of 10, but, you know, a majority of the time, your next recruit is a host. It's going to be your host. So the best part of already building that relationship is you're already winning, because you've got a friend in them, you've gotten to know each other, you've got your party going, and now you got a new recruit who's going to be really comfortable with you. Your hosts they earn amazing rewards and you have the opportunity to build your business through their party. So let's talk about the role your host can play in helping you reach the goal of getting 3 bookings from every party. with a host booking challenge. They know their friends and family better than you do, and they have more influence with them. So why not ask them to partner with you to get your future bookings? So there's a couple of different host booking challenges that you can throw out. Like Melody was saying, she sends this out to hers on Wednesdays. You know, it's going to be, of course, when you run your parties and the days that you throw those out there. So like the first one would be, you're going to send a personal message to each of the hosts and say, hey there, I have an easy challenge for you. I want to help you get the maximum benefits from your host rewards. The best way to do this is to get 3 bookings from your party that will let you get 3 more half off items at each of their parties. And I always stress that to each of my hosts, because they don't, sometimes they're thinking, well, it's just a party, I'll get my 10% off. And they're not realizing, no, you get an actual item at half off. Any item, and I always tell them set, because they can turn around and buy the cookware or the blender or something like that, and they're not thinking, you know, of anything big like that. So you want to make sure that they understand that. And when they get the 3 bookings, you know, I'll give you an extra gift, or I'll give an extra gift. I have an easy way to help you. Do you want to go for it? So you got to tell them. When they respond with yes, then you respond with great. Would you be willing to message 10 friends to see if they would be interested in hosting their own party? If so, I'll even give you the words to send to them. You don't want to go with just 3, because what happens if only 1 says yes? You want to go with more so that you can pull in those 3. If the answer is yes, then you're going to turn around and be like, awesome. Make sure to send it to each person individually, not one giant group chat. And you need to stress that to all of your people, all of your hosts that you're talking to, because it's more personal and they're going to respond a lot better when you're doing it individually like that. You can also tell them if you're, you know, they can include you in the message. So do a group message with you and that potential new booking. They could say something like, hi, thanks so much for joining us at my party this week. We've learned so much. I wanted to check with you to see if you might be interested in earning a lot of free products, just like I am this week. My consultant is super fun, and hosting an online party is essential. It only takes a few minutes a day to post one thing that she'll send to you in advance. She has openings in January, and the offers are amazing. I'm only 2 parties away from my goal. I'll attend if you have one. What do you say? So, you know, there's different wordings, and anytime, you know, of course, we give y'all wordings and stuff, y'all want to make sure that it's something that, you know, that you would actually say. I always tell my hosts, like, put it into words that you would say. If you don't say, like, I say y'all a lot, and I know some of my hosts don't, so I would definitely tell them, scratch that, say it, you know, the way you would say it. So, so the way they respond, so say Leslie books a party. Hey, Leslie, I'd love to work with you to help you get some of the products on your wish list for free. Melody thought of you because she thought you'd make a great host. It's super easy and takes only a few minutes a day. What do you think? They don't respond. You can turn around and say, hey, Leslie, I'm just following up because I'm closing out Melody's party. I know people get busy and don't get a chance to respond, so I wanted to check back with you to see if you're interested in hosting and earning some free products. I would love to work with you. Please let me know either way. So not hard. You're not, you know, throwing a whole lot out there. You're being friendly and you're getting straight to the point. So, I think that's the last slide, right?
And then the follow-up, did you say the follow-up if they didn't respond?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what I like too. And so you can see on this screen, this is something that they can send out individually. But I have found too, I mean, I was talking about this earlier with Leslie and Misty. It seems like the ones that are going to book those parties are the 3 that are really, you know, the ones that are really working for those 3 bookings, because you have given them that incentive of whatever it is that you're going to give them for those 3 bookings, you know. So the ones that are working for it, they're most likely going to get it no matter what. But something else that you can do, instead of just having them message this to people, because what I found is they're like, yeah, no one wants to book, but they'll send this message and then no one responds to it, and then they just say no one wants to book. But if they send a message and they include you on there, then you're a part of it. And when you see that they have seen it and they didn't say anything, then there's wording that we can post on our group page of, okay, you're like, oh gosh, they saw the message and they didn't say anything. They must not want a book. But then you can post something on there, after you know that they've seen it, if they didn't respond. Okay. And I like the wording where it says, I'm closing up the party and I know that people get busy and don't get a chance to respond. So I just want to check back with you. So because sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but you get a message, you see it, and you're like, oh, I need to take care of that later. And then you forget about it completely. Okay. So sometimes you following back up and circling back around can actually, they may say, oh gosh, I'm really sorry about that. And so this is some good wording, and you being in there really helps the host not just say, yeah, they just didn't want to, because you actually can respond in some way. So that's another way to look at it. Instead of just having the host message 10 people, have them message 10 people, but include you in each of the messages, where that way you can also respond once they've seen and didn't say anything. So, okay.
I have it. All right, recruiting on your host.
Okay, so asking every host 5 times. How many of you were on this training that I did last Tuesday, the virtual team meeting? I did a training on recruiting. Okay, and this wording is actually in the document that I posted that night on Team PC Hotshots. The recruiting training of what to do in your parties is on Team PC Hotshots in the documents. Okay, so if you go to files, it should probably be one of the first things there under files. So this just really helps me remember when I need to ask, and talk to my hosts. So those of you that have seen my training, you know that I call my hosts. Okay, I call them at the very beginning of the week before their party starts. And I ask them, when we can talk on the phone, and then I walk through, how to do a host coaching call. But one of the last things, step number 5 on that call, you guys have heard me say, did you see that Kit Credit coupon that I put in your packet? And, I star it up, mark it up, and say, this coupon. And it just leads into a conversation. Have you ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef? So I don't ever not have a host coaching call without asking that at least at the end of our conversation. So that's the very first time that I talk to them about the business. And if they're kind of like, oh, I don't know, I not really thought about it, you can just simply say, watch me this week and we can talk more about it later. Okay, it doesn't have to get into a deep discussion at that point. So the second time, okay, is the third day of the invites. So maybe they might not have a party booked a party thinking about this, but if you'd like to spend $99 or pick one of these kits today before your show starts. So this is before the party even starts. And we kind of talked about this as well, because if you have your calendar booked and you ask them, if they would like to become a consultant of their party, then you don't feel as bad about giving this booking to them. Okay, so when you are talking about, one more thing before we start this off, would you like to make this yours? Okay, you can more easily give that to them. Okay, and sometimes you have to think about the benefits of it in the long run. Okay, so think about if this person joins your team and they have a good party and their party qualifies, okay, and you're going to get extra trip points because that person qualified. Okay, sometimes you have to think about the benefits of helping them be successful in their party from the very beginning. Okay, and not just the fact that they took, a booking away from you. Okay, so asking them, before the party even started. So then you've started into the party and their party's rocking. It's going great. Their friends love Pampered Chef. You know, you can say, wow, your party's rocking. Your friends seem to love Pampered Chef. You're going to have an amazing party. Have you given any more thought to trying this yourself? Looks like you would have an awesome support system. Not pushy, just simply stating how awesome their party is going. Okay, so that's the third time that you can share something. Fourth time. Okay, so last day of the party, would seriously love to have you on the team. You're so fun. You've done a wonderful job posting, interacting this week. I have no idea that you would rock this. Want to give it a whirl. Now, I will say, if this person has said to you, no, you know, I really don't want to do this. You know, I just want to support you. I'm not going to continue to ask them 5 times. Okay. But if they didn't tell me no, they're still giving me permission to ask in a different way. Okay. I don't want to come across as pushy. And that's one thing I think that every recruit that's under me will tell you. I don't come across as pushy.
Tinkerbell.
Okay. But I still want to ask. Okay. Because I have had people who, after a few years later, ended up joining my team because I did ask them. And I asked every time they had a party. I didn't maybe ask them 5 times in that party, but I asked them every party. And even if they were like, no, not right now, okay, that's fine. But the next time they had a party, I asked them again, how about now? Is now a better time for you? No, I still just want to host. Okay. You know, so there's a difference between being pushy and telling them that they're amazing. Wow, you really would rock this. I think you'd be great. I really do think you should consider it. Just dropping those little seeds throughout the party, okay? So the 5th time that you can talk to them about it is before you close the party, okay? I just want to double check one more time. You know, do you want to take advantage of this Kit Credit coupon? If they have a coupon, keep in mind, they have to have a $300 party in order to get that 25 and free, okay? And they have to have a $400 party in order to get the 50 and free, okay? So, but you can still offer that, you know, as long as they did reach that goal. So that's another time where they can kind of decide, okay? So see how there's these 5 different ways, 5 different times that you can ask. And like I talked on the training, you know, I really want you guys to think about and really honestly track how many times you are asking and who you are talking to in the party. Because sometimes we feel like we're asking a lot of people when really we're not. Okay, and it takes, you know, talking to 6, 7 different people per party in order, you know, to maybe get that one person. Okay, so keep that in mind and track who you are actually talking to in the party. Okay, and when you offer the opportunity to your host, ask yourself these 2 questions. Why would they be good at Pampered Chef? And how could Pampered Chef be good for them? Okay, because if you know those 2 things, okay, you're really going to be able to talk to them and have a better conversation if maybe you know how Pampered Chef could be good for them. Okay, Trisha already talked about the why is what drives people. Well, the why is what could get them, you know, to sign up and try your team in the first place. Okay, so kind of knowing how Pampered Chef could be good for them would be a good thing as well. All right, that wraps up me.
Awesome. Am I unmuted? I am. Oh no, Miss Leslie, you're up, my dear. You're muted.
Okay, so all right, so now is your call to action. We just want to remind you to come to these meetings each week and also to follow up with your I've gotten out of order here, but anyway, and to go follow up with your recruiter, your upline each week. If they don't contact you, contact them. Sometimes they get sidetracked, but you for sure want to talk to them and ask any questions you have, talk about your successes, that kind of thing. And then, so you want to write those 5 affirmations that we talked about, those I am statements, and read them to yourself out loud twice a day, once when you first get up in the morning and right before you go to bed. Start using the host booking challenge in your parties, like Melody went over, and Misty, I forgot who did which part, but so yeah, do those and ask your host every time in those 5 different ways. And like Melody said, you don't have to be pushy. If she's saying no, still continue to drop those seeds about what a great job she is doing and how great she would be as a consultant. And create an online guest survey for your parties, like in a Google document. So people can tell you what they like about your party and what they don't like. But in that guest survey, one of the questions will be, would you like to have a party, or, have you thought about being a consultant? So you can follow up with those people. And keep adding names to your lists of contacts. Hot lists for recruiting and follow-up lists. So like in my calendar book where all my parties are, I just have a page of people that I want to keep following up with, that I think would make a good consultant, or they have mentioned that maybe sometime in the future. And you never know when they might decide to do it, that it surprises you. So let's see.
Can I add one more thing that I want you guys to do this week?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so those of you that are going for directorship, I really want you to share, because we haven't done this as much on these calls. I really want you to do a post and share, where you guys are at, like where you are at so far as getting to your goal. Have many people do you have under you currently? Okay, where they are at. Let us know. Have they submitted sales yet? Where are you guys at towards your 5,000? Where are you at, towards, you're supposed to have 750 in sales, but we've talked about trying to have at least 2,500 in sales. So you guys are carrying more of that portion. So I really would like to see you guys post so we can cheer you on, okay, and encourage you all with where you are currently at. We have a couple weeks left in this month. So I really kind of would like to see where everyone is at this point. So if you guys can just add that to your action plan and share with us where you are at.
Melody,
Yeah,
that's
that would be great.
the number for personal submitting or team.
Okay, so I'm going off of that graphic that I posted on this page, or on the group page. But the biggest thing is trying to have 2,500 in sales personally yourself. Okay, and 3 of the people that are under you, them having at least 3 parties or 750 in sales.
Okay.
And then 2 people having at least 150 in sales. Okay, so if each of those things happen, that will put you at 5,050 as a team, which will be over the 5,000 amount. And I have a graphic, it's pink, I think, on the Facebook page that kind of breaks it down. But it just helps, you guys only have to have 750 in sales, but when you're trying to promote yourself, it's always easier for you to carry more sales than just the 750, and I'm going to encourage all of you, as you promote to a director, that's what I encourage all of my directors to have, is at least 2,500 in sales themselves every month, and the closer you have to 5,000, the better. So
Mariana, you're fine. You have over $8,000 in sales, so you don't have to worry.
yeah,
I've been telling you.
you're good. You're a good girlfriend.
I'm like, all we need is two more active and you're done. So
See, and that's why I want to see, because right now, you know, when we did the legacy leaders calls, that was the first thing I asked every call, is where kind of everyone's at. And so that's where I would like for you guys to post, is knowing kind of where everyone is at so far, to see, okay, what do we still need to help you guys achieve those goals this month. So if you guys could take the time to do that, that would help.
definitely post that in there, because we love to cheer y'all on. We love cheering anybody on. But not only that, like for y'all to cheer each other on as you're becoming directors. I mean, it's really great. It's awesome. And those are some friendships that you're going to build that will be amazing. So y'all can kind of, you know, bump it head to head and go full blast. And we've got 2 weeks. No, yeah, pretty much two. Well, what's today? Monday, right? Yeah. 2 full weeks pretty much to get this accomplished. It is not over
Plenty
until
of time.
11:59 on the 31st. And y'all, I will tell y'all, when I say it's not over till that moment, I mean it. And I know it because that's how I did it. I hit my qualifications on the last day of May in 2018 at what, Mel, 11:57 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
We cut it close. I had a credit card decline, so don't wait that late. But yeah, post, because we definitely love to see it, cheer y'all on, and want to root for everybody.
And I'm looking at the comments now. Sarah Richardson, no, not everyone needs to give $50. That's what I personally do. But guys, I've been in the business for 8 years. Okay. So you can give free shipping. You can give a toaster tong. You can give something. You don't feel like you have to give. I mean, your goal is to make money at this point, not give your whole paycheck away. Okay. So that's something that I have chosen to do. But guys, I'm not really giving 50. Okay. They're giving me theirs, and then I'm using discounts. If they didn't use their half off, I'm using some of that, you know, so I'm not actually, it's not $50 out of my pocket. It's stuff that I'm adding to their host order. Okay. So when I say I give them 50, it's not really 50. And then if you still think that is too much, don't feel like you have to give that much for the 3 bookings. Okay. You can give whatever it is that you feel like giving. So it could be a recipe book. Okay. So whatever you're comfortable with is absolutely fine. So I just saw that in the chat, so I want to be sure that I address that.
I was going to address one as well, because we're going to go ahead, and if anybody has any questions or anything.
Misty, can I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We are going to announce a training that we'll announce it in the next day or 2 that you can access. And then also we want to remind you, if you haven't watched Kristen, how do you say her last name, Melody?
Waringa.
On that Melody talked about in the meeting last week. Be sure and watch that. And did you say that is posted in Hot Shots?
I posted it last night. So it's in this this group, the Fast Track to Success, Team PC Hot Shots. So it's in the group that you guys are all in. I just posted it yesterday. So if you haven't listened to that yet, that's what she's talking about. Be sure to go in. That's one of your calls to action to watch that this week.
And we'll announce one more later.
Yeah.
Okay, now Misty.
Does anybody have any questions or anything like that they want to ask while you have us here?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you create the Google survey?
There's a video on Team PC Hot Shots in the announcements on how to create one.
Okay.
Yep, if
Thank
you go
you.
on there in the announcements, you'll have to go down a few posts because it's been a bit since I posted it, but there is an example on there. And what I did the very first time is I literally pulled up the video and I pulled up my form and I did it and paused it and then did it to this one. And I watched it and then paused it and then did it to this one. So, but once you do it a few times, it's a lot easier to do it. But yeah, there is a video on how to do it.
Who else? Anybody else have any more questions? Everybody's so quiet tonight.
I'm just going for advanced this month.
Whoop, whoop.
That's all
Get
I'm doing.
your, hey, tell them what is advanced for those people that don't know. Can you tell them, Joanna?
You'll have to have organizational sales, your whole team of 12,000 or more, and one director underneath you. So I have one that's getting really close, and I think she'll get it this month. And then I have 2 girls on this call that are actually going for it, and I've got some that didn't make the call that are trying. So I'm going to start out with 1, but I'm shooting for 2 because I want backup. I need backup.
Nice. Good luck, girlie. Keep us posted on PC Hot Shots how it's going. We want to see it.
I will.
Anybody else? Questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Just kidding. We're always here, y'all. We just want to make sure, like, that's one thing. I've been with Melody 4 years next week. And I love that it doesn't matter who you fall under, who your upline is. We are all here to help y'all. We all want to see everybody else succeed with this business. It's definitely been an amazing ride, and we want to make sure y'all keep pushing because you don't want to give up. Trust me, you don't ever want to give up with this business. Just keep going. You know, even when it gets tough, you push through. Melody knows there was a few times I wanted to just, she's like, nope, you can do it. And 4 years, and I love it. I never would have thought, and I'm loving it. So, Miss Trisha is looking at going to advanced director this month. So we will have it with Miss Mariana come the end. We've got, I say by next weekend. So we'll be good. But yeah, just keep us posted. Go onto the page and everybody post what y'all have going right now, how far away you are, if you're needing a recruit, if you're needing sales, where you're at, so that we can make sure that we're cheering y'all on and rooting for y'all. You know, we're a big old PC family. So we're all here to help. Feel free to reach out to any of us for any questions or anything like that.
As you guys are thinking about going for a directorship this month, I would really try to focus on having all of your people, except maybe one, on your team by this coming weekend. Okay, and the reason being is because that gives them time to get a party in or sales in, you know. And this is a thing, guys, too, that I have learned. When you have someone that's joining your team, if you already have the sales there, okay, let's say your team's going to be at 5,000, okay, then maybe instead of pushing them to start a party really quickly and maybe not have it be that much of a success and then have them get frustrated, maybe it is having them reach out to a few friends about getting the 150 in sales, okay? Because the thing of it is that I've watched people, they're like, oh, they joined and they're starting a party tomorrow, and then maybe it's not that successful, and then this new team member is frustrated that their party, what did I do wrong? Okay, a much better scenario, you know, is to try to see kind of where everyone's at this coming weekend. Okay, and if you have that one person that hasn't signed up yet, okay, or maybe one person that just joined, you know, that you have some time to start a party. But if they're signing up late in the game next week, okay, instead of maybe pushing them to try to start this party super quick, maybe work with them as long as your sales are there, you know, just on reaching out to a few people to get to that 150 instead. That way you give them a full great shot at having a first successful party, getting them on that new consultant training, doing the appropriate host coaching like you guys have learned, and giving them a real chance to feel success in this business. Okay, because I've seen both scenarios before, and the goal always is to help people feel successful in this business. And sometimes just trying to push them and trying to get started quick isn't always the best solution. So just keep that in mind as you are adding these people, but trying to get look, and that's why I kind of want to see, you know, kind of where you guys are at, is kind of have an idea of who's there, who you still need, where you guys are at, you know, in sales and stuff, so we can kind of help you find those solutions. And be sure that you are checking in, you know, with your upline director and having, a check-in with them, which I'm sure you guys are, but be sure that you're checking in this week to let them know where you're at, and what you guys still need to. So does anyone else have any questions at all?
I do. I have.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
For some reason, it just would seem awkward to me, I think, to sign somebody up at the very end and ask them to please get $150 in. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
for my sake, instead of trying to get a party going or something that's for their sake. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and that's where sometimes I just have those extra sales, that may, maybe helping them, but you just have to be careful when they are joining that late, because also think about it, if you're just pushing them to start a party that's only going to be a few days, how that's going to make them feel too. So that's where I think it's great to let them know that they are a part of a big goal, that you guys are reaching together, and this is a team goal that you guys are going for, and they're a big part of that, and including them in that, and just letting them know, what that means and what that looks like, even if they may not understand right now, and just asking them, would there be anyone that might want to order right now? And that's why sometimes I have those backup sales, just in case, if for some reason, because I don't want them to feel that pressure either. That's why I really just try to let them know how important they are, for your team goal, that you guys are trying to reach. So there's wording, and that's where we can kind of help them. That's why, in best case scenario is you do have your 5 by this coming weekend. So there is enough time to actually have a party and help them be successful and get them going. That doesn't always happen. So sometimes people come in the last few days of the month, and you're looking, to what do we need to do now? Sometimes they have those people. Like there was someone that signed up today under my personal team, and she was like, I need to get this party going. I have people that want to order. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes these people start and they already know people that want to order. So that's great. And that's why it's not anything horrible to ask them if there are, some people that they already know that may want to place some orders right now. And, and you also can present it as, if we, can get you some orders, then you're going to get a paycheck starting out the 7th instead of waiting until the 21st. So sometimes presenting in that way makes it more about them too, than just, just to let you know, if there are anybody, if there's anyone that would like to place an order, then we can go ahead and get those in, and you actually would get a paycheck on the 7th. Okay. And that would make it more about them as well. So, but there are times where I just let them know. I said, hey, you know what? You are joining at a super exciting time. I'm so thankful, you joined our team. We're going for a really big goal this month. And I know you haven't been on here very long, but I just want to let you know that you joining is actually a really big deal. So I don't think there's any harm in letting them know that either. So, but I've just seen too many people try to push someone to start a party and close it, and not be that successful, and then have a frustrated consultant too. So.
Right. Well, I think we should have them all submitting by this weekend.
Awesome.
So
you're asking all these questions, these what if questions for everyone else.
No, there's one of them that could be a little bit shaky. It's
yeah.
Just don't know where that one's going to go yet.
But
yeah.
we got plenty of time to figure it out.
I've got backup people I'm going to talk to
yeah.
come in. So.
Yay.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Don't worry.
Yeah, if your sales are that high, girlfriend, let me tell you, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 3 booked this week, so it should. I think I'm at 8 right now.
Yes, you're a little over 8, my dear. You're rocking it. So there's no reason for it not to happen this month.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. That's all for us this evening. We just want to make sure that y'all do schedule and hold your 15-minute check-ins with your uplines, your directors. Make sure you are checking in with them, going over stuff discussed. We will be posting like a homework assignment maybe tomorrow. Within the next couple of days, we'll post a homework assignment, so be on the lookout for that one. But then also make sure that y'all schedule those follow-ups to get with your uplines to go over everything.
So Sarah Richardson, did I see that you're actually in that place? I'm reading the comments. Kelsey said, just to answer your question, Mariana, she said that she had her friends, help put orders to reach that 150. And she joined 3 days before the end of the month. So she's kind of an example. She's on this call, Sarah is, of someone that actually did happen to. So
yeah, she was awesome. She did ask 5 times, and the 5th time I finally said yes. So glad I did. But she was just like, just takes 150 to get you green. And I was like, okay. And I started getting nervous, but she was like, you know what? Like, I got you. And she posted on her own, I believe her own Facebook timeline. And she had, a great response and really helped me, got me green. So she really did that for me. So I appreciate her so much for that, as for everything else. But
Very good. Thank you.
congratulations on yourselves.
all right, ladies. Well, thank you guys so much for being on here. You guys being on here shows that you want this and shows that you are determined. So that's a really big thing. So thank you guys for taking the time out each week to be on here and learning and growing yourself and working towards your goals. And so we're all here cheering you on as you guys go for them this month. So, all right, ladies, well, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will post a link for this recording for those of you that kind of jumped on towards the end. You guys can watch the beginning again. So, but all right, guys, we'll see you
Y'all
later.
got this, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.